Yeah. Good thinking.
Okie dokie. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to our land. Both AMM members and non-AM members who've come to this dedication today, and we've had several folks that's not AM members contribute to this cabin in both labor and donations, and we thank all of them, and we have several of them here today, so thank all of you for coming. This project is a culmination of almost 5 years in the works. So before we start, I want to have a moment of silence for our departed brothers. Okay, just a short moment. Okay. Short history of where we're standing here and why we're here today started with one of our members, David Menser, donating this land to the AMM. David is here somewhere. There he is right over here. Wouldn't have had this if he hadn't done it and started the whole ball rolling. This is our land, AMM's land. East of the Mississippi. We'll have land west of the Mississippi eventually. And that's what we need for our organization, is a sense of place, and this is it. 37 acres here. Got a nice little spring-fed creek back here. Got woods and we got fields. Those of you, of course, today is not a real good day to go exploring, but I'd recommend getting out and looking at our land. Roughly marked out there, you don't know really where the land line is, but 37 acres is ours. Now we all know that land in Kentucky is not the Rocky Mountains, right? And that's what the AMM started with, the fur trade in the Rocky Mountains. But we also know as historians, Kentucky supplied a lot of men to that fur trade out there in the Rocky Mountains. So what we got here with this cabin is a place for people to come from the Rocky Mountains through, going back to the south and the east and the north, and people heading to the Rocky Mountains, stopping off here in the 1800, 1840 time period. We're basically saying we're going to interpret this to be about 1820. The cabin was donated to us in 2013. So it was moved and constructed entirely by AMM members, their family and friends. We didn't hire anybody to build this cabin. We did it ourselves. And that's all important because that's the spirit of what we're all about.
That's right.
We've done it ourselves in the true AMM tradition. So for nearly 5 years, this cabin has been a work in progress. And we got it done. It's here for all of us to enjoy it. Go back to your parties, your brigades, and tell everybody that this land is ours to come here and enjoy it. That's what it's all about. We're enjoying it this weekend, even with a little inclement weather, which we're all used to that. We'll get through that, but these last 3 days, we've really seen this cabin come alive with people inside enjoying it, taking part in it. It's built in 2 phases, I'm going to say. Phase 1, which up to 2013, when you were here for the rendezvous in 2013, is headed up by Ronnie Dowdy. Ronnie, you're here somewhere. If you're not, back in there, thanks to him. Ronnie headed it up to 2014, and then Larry Mays became team construction leader after 2014 and finished it to today. And I want to thank Larry for his part in it too. Most of all, I want to thank all the members who contributed in building this cabin, both in time and labor and in-kind donations. You see stuff on this cabin with blacksmith forging, with woodworking, the things that's come in this weekend with the donations that make this cabin furnished, donations up there for the auction, raise money for our land, and maintenance is going to go a long, long way. That's what makes the whole thing come to life, along with us being here. This is getting kind of wet. Some of us drove a long way to work on this cabin. Sure did. You know who you are. I can't point them all out. But there's a list right there by that door of everybody that worked on this cabin from the beginning to the end. And there's There's also at the bottom of that a list of names of folks who don't belong to our organization who contributed and worked on the cabin too. So read that list and thank everybody that's names on there for what they did. We've had more than 30 individual work parties since we began back on it in earnest in September to finish it up. And that brought us up to today. Larry, I want to thank you really from the point that you headed up this phase, and your organizational skills, your ability to procure materials both efficiently and financially and individually, your work on this cabin, I think we all owe Larry as the head of the team to bring this thing to accomplishment at this point.
Hip, hip.
The point that Now we had, I want to say a contest, but back in 2017, we asked for, the Land Use Committee asked for input on naming our land and naming our cabin. And that concluded in December 31st, and we had some input. So I've got the names of the names that was the most submitted. Naming our land, our Kentucky land, or the Kentucky land.
The Kentucky land.
That's what we're going to call it. This is our Kentucky land. This is AMM land. This is our Kentucky land. The cabin had quite a few different submissions, but the one that made most sense and had the most names is the man whose name's right there on that lintel stone. H.W. Keeling, April 1787. Keeling Trading Post.
Yep.
How does that sound to you?
Good.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Need help to believe maybe H.W. Keeling is here with us in spirit this weekend and all time, you know. Looking at his name and he's looking back at us. So it's time to come and christen this land, and that's what we're about to do right now. Doc Ivory sends his condolences. He couldn't come. He had family issues, not issues, but family commitments. And Jim Hannon's working this weekend on a big project that he couldn't get out of. So our eastern and western segundo, Craig and Mike, will all christen our land for us. And I think it's very befitting that one of our segundos is from the Rocky Mountain, west of Mississippi, and our other segundos from east of the Mississippi, that both of them together christen our land. And we're about to do that with Kentucky spring water, by God.
There we go.
Now, wait a minute. This is really Kentucky spring water because it came out of our spring right down there at the bottom of the hill. Now, all you fellas that thinking Kentucky bourbon and all that's Kentucky, you're right, but this is real stuff.
Real thing, the real deal.
So I'm going to turn it over to these two gentlemen and let them christen our land for us all.
Well, I'd say, folks, that we put it to the test the last few days, and I'd say it shines.
Shine, shine.
It is. For me, I think this plan and the cabin has brought us together as a brotherhood, the east and the west, and it just goes to show what you can do in the spirit of brotherhood, working together, and it's like the phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes. It's come back from near destruction that we have today. So thank you all for what you did for us.
Yeah. Can I do something real quick?
Keeling.
Can I do something real quick? Yeah, there we go.
Huzzah! And we gotta have a wall too, don't we? Wall!
Let me give you all this.
Henry Crawford would like to see words for us.
Kentucky is the 15th state of this country of ours that we love so much. And the flag had 15 stars on it. And I want to present this to the trading post.
All right.
15-star flag for the wall.
That's it. All right, that's great.
Hang it up anywhere, wherever's
We'll find a
appropriate for
place
you.
for it. There we go. 15 stars, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
1792. Right?
1792.
Yep.
There you
Dang,
go.
between the bear and that flag, Henry laid claim to half the capital.
I got one more thing to say. Also, the flag that's on the flagpole is the 26-star flag. Those of y'all from Michigan will know that one. I would like to give that to the Michigan Brigade after the event's over. When we're done, we pull that flag down and y'all take it home to you. Okay?
Thank you.
Take that?
What is it, Danny?
It's a 24-star flag. It says Missouri River Brigade.
There we go.
All right, now what year does that?
That I couldn't tell you, but 1823 is supposed to be, I suppose.
Okay, Michigan became the
1821?
26th state
1821.
in 1837. That's still our period.
Yep.
So go ahead and take it and put it to good use.
Thank you.
There you go.
Well, gentlemen, that wraps up our ceremony, so enjoy this time, enjoy our lucky rain too. Come back. Please come back.
If anybody wants to shoot after the dedication, 20 minutes.